Welcome to the Prophecy Club. We're going to try this video again. So our topic today is going to be what happened to the August prophecies. Talking about the elephant in the room. Because to me, everything looked to me like, Mike Lindell said DJT should be back in charge before the end of August. Well, yes, I also got some other emails said that he had also said, no, it's going to be October now. But I didn't hear that. I only heard him say end of August. Also, we had the test of the emergency action system, emergency broadcast system. I think that's not right. EAS, emergency action system. Maybe that's it. And that was supposed to be August 11th, and it did go out. We got several emails. Yes, it did go in my area, but most of the country did not get the warning. Okay, and then there was other rumors that says DJT was supposed to be back in charge August 15th. Others said no, August 22nd. Some even said August 31. Well, here we are in September. Nothing happened. Okay, so what is the most important thing right now? And I'm going to say it's not Afghanistan. I think Afghanistan, the fiasco there, is basically caused by the deep state, the Khazari mafia, the Moloch and the Baal worshippers, these evil elite that have controlled our financial systems and basically controlled the planet. Probably, the truth be known, all the way back to the pyramid days, back in the days of the Pharaoh. But these people probably have set JB up to do this fiasco specifically to kill the dollar, specifically to kill America, because the big thing right now is not Afghanistan. The big thing right now is really what is going on in Saudi Arabia. So let me go back and read that to you again. And by the way, this is, I don't know, just Google it and you can find it in 15, 20 different articles out there. MSNBC, there's lots of places that have this. However, our good Fox News, I have not heard it on there. Not saying it's not been there, but I've lost a lot of respect for Fox News. Keep in mind what FOX stands for. It stands for 666. Do you really believe that they would have Christian news out there? No, they would put a stop to it. Okay, so anyway, the article headline says, Saudi Arabia and Russia signed deal to develop joint military cooperation. That is going to kill the dollar. But first, let's read the article. Saudi Arabia and Russia on Monday, that's Monday, August 24th, signed an agreement to develop joint military cooperation between the two countries, according to the kingdom's deputy defense minister. Quote, I signed an agreement today with the Russian defense minister, Defense Colonel Alexander Fomin countries. Saudi Arabia's defense minister, Prince Khalid bin Salman, tweeted. Prince Khalid met with Russian defense minister in the day to, quote, explore ways to strengthen the military defense cooperation between the two countries. Quote, we discussed our common endeavor to preserve stability and security in the region and reviewed shared challenges facing our countries, he added. Then, August 23rd, he tweeted, apparently, met with Russian defense minister to explore ways to strengthen military defense. He goes on to say that. Now, why is that important? Here's why that's important. Let's back up now to, this was a vision. I've covered it many times, but now it's coming to pass. And so all of a sudden, it is the news. You want to know the really big news? This is the really big news. Back in 2010, Pastor Shane Warren was shown a vision. Said he was watching TV. All of a sudden, it wasn't TV. All of a sudden, he saw a vision. Now, to get to the summarized point here, he said he saw a storm over America. Well, I think that's kind of interesting. There is several storms, not just one, but several storms, several hurricanes hit America here kind of back to back. But that's not the kind of storm it's talking about. It's talking about a financial storm. He saw the anchor, reached down and pick up a fistful of dollar bills and said, quote, they're worthless. It was raining worthless dollar bills, blowing in the wind, worthless as leaves. Then he saw earthquakes in the New Madrid fault. I keep saying Madrid. This New Madrid. I got to get that right. The New Madrid fault, earthquakes. Then he saw India, Syria, Indonesia, Turkey, Iran, Saudi Arabia, Pakistan, Egypt, Russia, and China had, listen to this, listen to this, listen to this. This is the big news. They began to sell oil in something other than dollars. Now, he says they began to trade gold. Well, that wouldn't be in the news. That's not going to be an article. That's how they really, really probably are going to be doing it. But the point is, they began to sell oil in something other than dollars. Now, let's back up. 1971, the Saudis were wanting protection. So they went to the U.S. military and they asked them to protect them. And the U.S., probably backed by the Moloch and Baal worshippers, said, well, that's fine. We'll protect you, but we want you to sell all oil in dollar denominations. So 198 countries all of a sudden had to get a bunch of dollars extra, big piles of dollars, so that they could buy or sell crude oil. Now, what did that do for the price of dollars? Well, they printed a whole bunch more of them, of course, but it made the dollar what is called the petrodollar. It made the dollar basically the world currency. Anybody want to buy or sell crude oil? Got to do it in dollars. That means Germany had to change, well, they had to buy a bunch of dollars, keep them on hand, because they couldn't buy crude oil in marks. Same thing with Japan with yen, or the other nations out there. All had to have big supplies of dollars. That meant that the dollar was very stable, very strong, and everybody liked the dollar. And I can tell you from my travels abroad, you take dollars, oh yeah. Now, you take a lot of times the local currency, no, they don't want that, but they'll take the dollars. So it made dollars very strong and very well accepted. Well, what's the converse of that? Now, the big news is Saudi Arabia is now no longer counting on American military. Why? They say it's because of Afghanistan. They say that they have seen how we treated Afghanistan, how we have not stood behind Afghanistan, and they say that they've lost confidence in the U.S. military. Well, they've really lost confidence in JB. That's the real story on it. Now, what is going on here? So we're about to see the death of the dollar. I'm going to give you several prophecies that back that up. First of all, what the rest of Shane Warren, he said he saw people riding in the streets with signs saying, give us our entitlements, give us our entitlements, meaning that all of a sudden the dollar ran out. The U.S. government didn't have any more dollars to be able to give them their checks, their welfare checks, and all of the various. They say that some 30 to 40% of America survives off of checks coming from the U.S. government. So try to imagine when they stop all of a sudden. Now, pause. Now, let me refresh your memory. The fall of America will start with an internal revolution in America started by the communists. I think that is going to be when the military, and I think they will, when the military goes in and takes back the government, some of the people will start fighting against the government. Now, I've always thought that would be some of the Dems or some of the evil people that didn't like to see DJT back in trouble, in charge, start protesting, and that's probably going to be part of it. But what the prophecy says is that they're going to be protesting because their entitlements, because their monthly giveaway checks were taken away from them. Now, I'm not saying they don't deserve them, because I've seen some people that are very deserving of what the government does to help them. So, but the point is, they're still taking the money away. The point is, there's still going to be some people very, very angry when the government can't send them their money anymore. Now, it said that the devaluing, here's the problem. Here's the elephant in the room. All of a sudden, all of the other prophecy we've been talking about, put them on the side burner for just a minute. Yes, they're coming, but this is the big one. The big one is this. He says, I saw that the devaluing of the dollar caused major rioting in the streets. I saw silver, not gold, begin to drastically increase in value. And if you're thinking about getting some silver, we're going to send you to cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Tell them Prophecy Club sent you. Why? Because he's a good Christian. Okay, he's a King James user, prophecy student, and he supports your Prophecy Club. That's a pretty good reason to use cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Anyway, I saw silver, not gold, begin to drastically increase in value. Now, I have to give you a disclaimer here. We cannot guarantee that this is going to happen, nor that it's going to happen right now, and nor are we telling you to go buy gold and silver. And I'm going to say that that is retroactive to any of the other things I've said in past broadcasts, too. So this is not a financial advice program. We're not giving financial advice. This is a Bible prophecy program. Okay, so I saw silver and not gold begin to drastically increase in value. People were riding in the streets with signs saying, "Give us our entitlements." Then, now let's back up to the earthquakes. So then in the New Madrid fault, there were earthquakes caused. He heard an audible voice speak from behind him and say, "They divided my land," meaning Israel. "Now I'll divide their land." So apparently the earthquakes are not going to come until we, America, divides Israel. I want to think that's no time close, but maybe it is close. However, so once we see dollar bills blowing worthless as leaves in the wind, once we see the oil being sold in Saudi Arabia and around the world, that's not being sold in dollars. That started as of August 24th. Now, I don't know how long it's going to take, whether it's a couple of weeks, a couple of months. Maybe it's by the end of the year before the dollars begin to really drop drastically. But I'm going to give you an article here in just a second that says it's actually already started. Anyway, at the same time, meaning when we saw worthless dollars, when we saw protesting in the streets, when we saw an earthquake, at the same time, I saw a church arise with healing in their wings for this moment. God prospering greatly, acquiring things, and a great transfer of wealth coming into the hands of believers. Churches became cities of refuge. Now, hang on. You remember QFS, remember the final wake up call.info, said that the QFS, the quantum financial system, is coming into place. He says it's going to replace the old SWIFT system, which is the same people that were worshiping the golden calf when Moses came down off of the mountain with the 10 commandments, got mad at them because they were worshiping the golden calf. So consequently, he threw the 10 commandments down and broke them. It's the same spirit, the Moloch and the Baal worshipers. And unfortunately, at least the skinny is, that they made a deal with the devil, saying, if you'll see that we have plenty of money, we're in charge of the world, then we will give you your sacrifices. They sacrifice not only babies, but whatever is innocent. They kill it. They believe that pleases their God, probably does, and they believe that that's how they stay in power. These Moloch and Baal worshipers openly do human sacrifice, baby sacrifice, child sex trafficking, human trafficking, drug trafficking. They're pretty much behind all of the evil done on the planet today, which is why I continue to pray against them. Okay, so the church is going to arise, but this QFS that is rising, this quantum financial system, according to finalwakeupcall.info, is replacing the old SWIFT system, or it is replacing the Moloch and the Baal system, the fake magic money system that is basically wealth plucked from the air. They call it plucked from the air. There's no gold. There's nothing behind it. So consequently, they can just print money as they want. These days, they don't even have to print it. It's just simply digits in a computer. So they have unlimited funds. Now, in the middle of this, probably what we're talking about is as the new QFS system comes in, as I read for you the other day, that some people think that it's going to be a whole new financial system, a new world order. And I do believe it's coming in, and I do believe it'll be good at first. I said at first. But unfortunately, it turns bad. He causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in the right hand or in the forehead. And that no man might buy or sell save he had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here's wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast. For it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. In other words, the beast, or the Antichrist. So the QFS system, while I believe it will start good, just like Hollywood started good, turned bad. Music started good, turned bad. Just about everything the devil does, he knows that if it starts bad, they'll reject it. So it starts good, turns bad. So what we're looking at is a whole new financial system. Now let's go back to what Shane Warren said. I saw the church arise with healing in its wings. Well, part of one of the things I'm praying for, and one of the things I'm asking people to pray for at this Solemn September Assembly, is that judgment will come to the church. Now, I don't want to see anything bad come to the church, but unfortunately, that's what has to happen. See, because the Bible says that you go back to Ezekiel with the inkhorn, what the angel was told, go and put a mark on all the people that have sighed and cried for the abominations done in Jerusalem. Then take the slaughter weapon and go kill all of those people that do not have the mark. But he said, start at my sanctuary and start with the ancient men first. In other words, start with the people that should have known better first. Slay them first. So judgment always begins at the house of God first, meaning, so first we've got to have a cleaning inside the house of God. And I want to believe that it's not a cleaning that embarrasses the house or embarrasses anyone. I hope that it's going to be some kind of a quiet house cleaning. But there's, like Dimitri was told by Angel Gabriel, he said, in the church, there's divorces, abortion, fornication, sodomy, abortion, all kinds of sin. Jesus doesn't live in sin. He lives in holiness. He said, I brought you here so you could cry out loud. Well, the sin has to be out of the church for the miracles to come in. Probably what's going to get that sin out of the church is the financial difficulty, which has now already started, and the earthquakes. So you get hit with financial difficulty, you get hit with earthquakes, and all of a sudden, a lot of people decide, okay, the pre-trib rapture obviously is not true. Obviously, it's not coming. Obviously, we need to start fighting about these end days, and we need to stop our sinning. So consequently, as a result, the miracles arrive. I saw God prospering greatly, many people acquiring things and great transfer of wealth coming to the hands of believers. Churches became cities of refuge. Cities of refuge. Didn't say move to the hills. Didn't say run to the woods. Matter of fact, all of the prophecies I have all say the cities will become cities of refuge. The body of Christ stood up like a mighty sleeping giant in the earth and began to minister. That's why I'm telling you, I'm called, and I believe you are too, I'm called to build an army of end-time prophecy teachers working miracles. Now, let me jump to that. Didn't plan to do this, but let me jump to it. So what we've done is put together what we call School of the Watchman, or the teacher's package. It is 2 foot by 3 foot full color charts of my 2 charts. The one is on matching the feasts to the prophecies of Revelation. The other one is the 7 seals, 7 trumpets, and 7 vials chart, so you can see how Revelation correctly lays out. Those 2 charts in 2 foot by 3 foot full color charts. Get one each of those, so that's 2 charts total. Plus, you also get a copy of my personal handwritten, here, there it is, right here. See, all through there, handwritten book where I wrote out the book of Revelation. Now, not my writing that's important, but I have my notes in there. See, there's all kinds of notes out of the corners here. So it has the notes. Everything I think about Revelation is right there. And it gives you something to help teach through Revelation. So anyway, there's 2 charts, and then there is 5 DVDs from the School of the Watchman we just had here a couple of months ago. All of this is valued at 5 copies of Secret Door, the Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy. All this is valued at $355, all for a gift of $200. Now, what we're trying to do is to stop this bad stuff from coming. We'd like to see we want to see the miracles, but we don't want to see the earthquakes. We don't want to see the death of dollar. Well, Bible says, in the mouth of 2 or 3 witnesses, let a thing be established. Bible says, wherever 2 or more gather in my name, there I am in the midst of them. The Bible says, if you abide in me and my words abide in you, you can ask what you will and be given. So we're asking people to gather for the Solemn September Assembly, September 6th through 8th. We're asking you to go to watchmanstrumpet.com. Has nothing to do with Prophecy Club. You can send anybody, any denomination there. We're asking people to gather under one name, Jesus, to pray for just one thing, America. I'm going to pray for your family. I'm going to pray for healing. I'm going to pray for anything else. We're going to ask you to leave your denominational differences in the car, all your speaking in tongues, all your once saved, always saved, whatever things. Don't tell anybody what denomination you're with. We're asking you to come in under just one name, Jesus. If you believe in Jesus, Jesus in your heart, you're welcome. Second thing is we're asking everybody to do one prayer. Just pray for America. Now, here's what it's going to be like when you're there. So at exactly 7:44 p.m., everyone will raise their shofar, no man-made instruments, and we will blow 7 long, loud blasts because the shofar is the announcement of a declaration of war, and that's what we're doing. We're declaring war against the devil, telling him to take his hands off America because it's not up to the military, it's not up to DJT, it's up to us because Jesus gave us all power over serpents and scorpions and over all the power of the enemy, and nothing by any means shall hurt us. We're going to gather. Now, here, as you're praying, yes, we start with praise and worship, and yes, we'll have a few short talks from the ministers, which will be me and Leslie and Pastor Massey, Dana Coverstone, and Lou and Sunhee. But we're limiting all of those to like 15 minutes and no more than probably once every hour or two. Most of the rest of the time, we set up a microphone and you have no more than 5 minutes. We limit each prayer to 5 minutes. Want to pray more? Go to the end of the line. And we have people pray, go to the end of the line, pray, go to the end of the line. And we're going to pray right through the night. We're going to pray for 48 and fast for 48 straight hours. Why September 6th to 8th? Because that is a Shemitah. That is also the Feast of Trumpets. That is the primary feast for the Gentiles. The primary feasts are for the Gentiles are Pentecost and the Feast of Trumpets. All the rest of them are primary Jewish feasts. But Pentecost and the Feast of Trumpets, those are feasts for the Gentiles. On the Feast of Pentecost is when those that are washed in the blood of the Lamb go to the marriage supper of the Lamb. About 4 months later, we return with Jesus on a white horse. And then on the Feast of Trumpets is when we return with Jesus on the white horse. And that's when we get our crowns, our mantles, our rewards, our glorified body, everything, all in the Feast of Trumpets. 10 days later is the judgment of the dead. 5 days later is the New Jerusalem comes down. All of that is in the book Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy. But the elephant in the room is this. I do not know how come something didn't happen in August. I don't know. But I'll tell you what did happen in August. What did happen is the start of Shane Warren's prophecy. Shane, if you're out there, you should call me. It's the start of Shane Warren's prophecy coming to pass because the dollar is now being set aside for the first time since 1971. Oil is now traded in something other than the dollar. That is going to cause the death of the dollar. Now, remember Daniel Davis, a missionary to Costa Rica, had 3 dreams. One of the dreams was this. He said, I saw a man dressed in a suit like an executive step up to a microphone. And he said, ladies and gentlemen, I have an announcement to make. He said, the United States, as you have known it, has ceased to exist. All property lines are dissolved, and the dollar is useless or worthless. Now, what does that mean? When he says, the United States, as you have known it, has ceased to exist, it's probably the old all-capital corporation, which was dissolved as of November the 5th of 2020, and they're trying to bring in a, quote, new Republic of the United States. That's the new name. And it all has to do with moving this old SWIFT financial system out and bringing in the new quantum financial system, which will be a digital currency system. So part of this we understand, part of this can be good, part of it is probably going to be bad too. The next thing is he said that all property lines are dissolved. Well, because the skinny of it is, according to finalwakeupcall.info, which, by the way, I do not necessarily recommend the other things on that site. Matter of fact, there's a lot of things on that site I don't recommend. So just that one article. Anyway, you can go to finalwakeupcall.info and Google quantum financial system or search quantum financial system. And that article is a good article. But anyway, probably what they're going to do is take the wealth of the planet and divide it out, pay off all of the bills, and then start with a whole new financial system. The third part was, and then the US dollar is worthless. Well, that fits with what's about to happen. We are now in the phase. The big story, not Afghanistan. The big story right now is that Saudi Arabia is now allowing the Russians to protect them, which is going to tell the nation, since they figure it out, they don't have to have dollars on hand. They're going to flood the market with dollars, get rid of their dollars. The dollar is about to crash. I'm telling you, look, we've been telling you this since 2010, okay? Shane Warren had this vision in 2010. I'm telling you, get ready, get ready, get ready. I'm also asking you, I'm speaking to the air. Everybody that believes Dimitri's message, everybody believes America is in trouble, everybody believes their prayers are heard, I'm asking you to go to watchmanstrumpet.com, watchmanstrumpet.com, get signed up to come, September 6th to 8th. Right now, I just checked, we have 178 people signed up. If you count the congregation that'll flow in, we're probably talking, by the time we actually get started, around 200 people. 200 people that are going to fast for 48 hours and pray all the way through the night. And we're going to grab hold of the horns of the altar. We're going to reach the throne room with our prayers, brothers and sisters. Bring your shofars. Go to watchmanstrumpet.com. Watchmanstrumpet.com. Also, if you need an EMP device, we're going to send you to empshield.com, promo code prophecy. If you need freeze-dried food, go to heavensharvest.com. Promo code there is STAN. If you need gold and silver, go to cornerstoneassetmetals.com. Just mention Prophecy Club when you call. Watchmanstrumpet.com. Watchmanstrumpet.com. In 2017, God helped me to memorize the book of Revelation and gave me 30 revelations, 2 visions, and an audible voice. God showed me the word first fruits is a secret door linking the feasts of Leviticus to the prophecies of Revelation. For the first time, the end-time prophecies of Revelation can be placed in correct chronological order. One prophetic word said, "There is a lock I put over a word in the book of Revelation. I'm going to open unto you. It will turn many books written on the end-time message into obsolete books." That's this book. It's called The Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy. So what if you had to tell a person the most important thing in the world, but you knew they're probably not going to believe you? Well, if you're listening to this, I believe you'd probably still tell them. Well, the most important thing to do is to receive Jesus. But the most important information is to not take the mark of the beast, because those people taking the mark of the beast do not get soul death, but they're tossed into eternal torment in hell without any possibility of escape. We put it into a book, Miss the Mark, Don't Take the Mark of the Beast, a simple book to give to people. If they read, they will never take the mark of the beast. Countless people are believing that they're not going to see any trouble of the tribulation. They're going to go in a rapture, which is a misunderstanding. So God had me write a book called How Pre-Trib Won. It explains how the Christian church was so snookered into believing a misunderstanding like this, and it helps them through scriptures to see the truth that there is not going to be a pre-trib, mid-trib, or pre-wrath rapture. No one is going any place to escape any testing. It's called How Pre-Trib Won. Then, the book of Daniel, most people agree, is probably the most difficult book in the Bible to understand. So I wrote a book called Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, which gives this last generation the explanation and the parts of Daniel that they need to endure the tribulation. Pure and simple, it takes Daniel and makes it easy to understand. It's called Tribulation Secrets in Daniel. As you know, many of the broadcasts have referred to a list of dreams, visions, and audible voices from people like Dimitri Duduman, Michael Boldea, Leslie Johnson, Henry Gruver, and others. We put together a special radio offer. You can get 10 How Pre-Trib Won, 10 Tribulation Secrets in Daniel, 10 Miss the Mark, 5 Secret Door to Understand Bible Prophecy, 5 God's Warnings to America, totaling 40 books valued at $800 for a gift of just $100 at prophecyclub.com. That's 40 books valued at $800 for a gift of just $100 at prophecyclub.com. Prophecyclub.com. Heaven's Harvest has food in stock. The coveted freeze-dried food in stock at heavensharvest.com. And if you put the promo code in STAN, it helps your Prophecy Club, and it also gets you a packet of heirloom seeds free. heavensharvest.com. Promo code STAN, S-T-A-N. heavensharvest.com, STAN. I'm calling all believers to bring your shofar and fast 48 hours and pray together September 6th to 8th. We're declaring war against the devil and proclaiming victory throughout the land. Go to watchmanstrumpet.com and get signed up. watchmanstrumpet.com for all the details. Click like, share, subscribe, and send to a friend.